What's going on, everyone? It's me, CuzNCiseal, coming at you with episode 15 of the CuzNCiseal Show. We're going to be talking about just some next gen news, and then some delays, and then hearing some praise about the DualSense. We'll get into it when we get on the other side of the CuzNCiseal Show. Alrighty, how are you guys doing this week? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything's going good in your day. I hope you had a good Halloween for probably quarantine-wise. Hope you were safe. Hope your kids had fun and all that fun jazz. But yeah, we are now 10 days away from the PS5. Well, yeah, 11, 10. We're going to be even closer to the Xbox Series X. We're in the month now, baby. Thank God. But like we do every show, we're going to start with what I've been playing this week. And I was playing some of the Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I got to jump in with Chowfie and try it. Well, I got to try the Horde mode with him. And that's fun. I was playing some of the chapters on my own. Like they do them in tiers, so you can go into do a whole story of a legend story, and there's like a bronze tier, and you push through all that, then you can open up the silver tier, which will be harder. There's gold tiers of each level, which you can get better gear, better blah blah blah. I'm not that far into it like others, because like now they just opened up the raid, and I went on a live stream, and there's some Destiny jumping raid stuff into it. I didn't know that that was going to happen. That is crazy. And kudos to Sucker Punch to making this multiplayer that come out of left field. It's pretty amazing. And then I jumped into some Fall Guys this week. Just more to play. Just kind of like a palate cleanser. And then only because also like this coming up week they're going to have a Godzilla skin, which will at the end of the day would cost 10 crowns. I'm at 8 crowns with thanks to the new seasons. I don't want to call it the battle pass because it's just automatically, but yeah, this week they're gonna put in a Godzilla costume and it looks adorable. I love Godzilla. And then I got to play a little bit of Watch Dogs Legion for the past couple days. I'm not that far. I think I only got like 2 recruits. And all I can say probably right now, I'm really hoping to check out the next gen versions because on a original PS4, it's very jittery. I don't know if it was my headphones. I had some audio clippings when people are talking, or just the world. And this last mission I did, which is the mission involving after you get you have to get a construction worker for your crew to proceed the mission. And then we went and picked up the prize, put in the truck, and had to drive the truck. And I'm not kidding, with the truck ride to get to the destination, I had maybe 5, maybe 7, a lot of times when the screen froze because it was still rendering the next like distance of the town. So it's very rough on old gen PS4 consoles. And also like on the old G PS4, it just kind of looks a little muddy, kind of poopy. So I'm going to give it the benefit that I want to see what next gen holds for it, because they announced that obviously PS5 is 4K 30 frames per second with ray tracing, and you can't turn it off to improve the frame rate at the moment. And then there's rumor mill stuff, which I'm not saying, that's set in stone, but I heard the Xbox Series X is a, what is that dramatic 4K. Like sometimes it goes lower in graphical, but they're gonna also be like 30 frames, which that's on Ubi for locking it in. But I heard that they have a more lower graphical and doing like that dramatical 4K or whatever that's word's called. Just saying, it's in the grapevine. It's not even out yet, so I'm not going to say, oh, that's true. But yeah, hopefully next gen will improve Watch Dogs, because right now I'm more shocked that I saw people say 8 out of 10. I'd put this maybe at the 7, maybe 6. The idea of doing recruitments sounds cool, but I didn't get that far. I'm like, you know what? It just feels muddy. Let's see if I can just push through some missions. The missions feel okay, but at the same time, this is a person. I didn't play Watch Dogs 2. I didn't mind Watch Dogs 1, but I didn't have the praise of Watch Dogs 2 walking in. I'm like, okay, this just seems okay for an open world game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes coming through the month. But yeah, all right, let's get into some not so gaming news, but this is a really cool show news. Red Hood art for the next season of Titans has been displayed, and it looks good. It's just more of a concept art, but the idea of the mask looks okay. They put a little bit of more definition on the cheeks, which some artists like to do and some don't. I like a clear smooth red mask, a little bit like the Arkham series, but I want the eyes. But I'm used to maybe comic book where it's flat, so maybe even the comic book is meant to have like that in-depth definition on cheeks. But yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for that season, which is coming to HBO Max because of them killing the DC universe into just a comic service. But yeah, more Godzilla news. A Godzilla anime trailer was shown for Netflix. It looks promising. It's called Godzilla Singular Point! Exclamation point. It looks good. It looks kind of like I don't want to call it like that, but it kind of looks like a Godzilla Origins of like maybe here's the first time you might see some of these monsters come from Monster Island, quote unquote, because they showed a moment of somebody building an Ultraman suit, or at least the big part, like the giant size version of Ultraman. And so I'm just taking that as maybe are they trying to say that this is going to be like not prequel, but like, a year 1, maybe year 2 version of with Godzilla and stuff. I know they have a couple Godzilla anime movies for Netflix, but I don't think this might be in the same universe, but we'll see. I had to look more into it. I just was looking at the trailer. It looked good. Another trailer for Netflix was Pacific Rim anime, which is a CG anime, but it's called Pacific Rim The Black. Had some screenshots. It looked, again, just more the idea that there's going to be an anime coming out for Netflix, so looks cool. And then they had a second trailer for Transformers Earthrise, the second chapter of that Transformers War of Cybertron. So, yeah, that's a little bit of more for just movie and TV show news. But yeah, we had some two bad ones that will go into the happier stuff. Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed again till December 10th. And, I mean, it is what it is. You can't really, whatever. I feel for the studio, but again, way of the sword, way of how it is. Hopefully the guys don't be too hectic on themselves. Just get it done, get it out on December 10th. Apparently, also the rumor is that the old gen Xbox One, PS4 are the ones that are holding back the whole game. They want to have it smooth on those systems, on the older systems. They say it's working really well for PS5 and Xbox Series X systems. I'm assuming then that means that the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X should be suffice-wise. Just the older models are holding it back. I almost wish they would have just said, you know what, we're going to do a delay on the older models. Sorry, blah, 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 but here's your PC, here's your PS5, here's your Xbox Series X, and then we're going to give you the older PS4 ones on December 10th. But hey, hopefully good luck, CG Projekt Red. And then another thing, some 343 Games, their Halo director, Chris Lee, just stepped down. And I'm like, holy shit, that's bad in the sense of there's rumors, oh yeah, it's going well right now, but the idea that you're in the middle of delays, people are having trouble or complaining about the graphics. And I put out there on Twitter one time earlier this week, like, could you imagine what the hell is going on with Halo? Like, if somebody was a time traveler and went back right when they said Microsoft bought Halo. But they said, you know what? Halo's going to only get 2 new games and 2 RTS games. And then the synopsis of the fans say that the fucking RTS versions are better than these Halo 4 and Halo 5. I think you'd kick him out. I think you kick out that time traveler and said, get the fuck out of here. There's no way you can fuck up Halo. And I don't know what's going on. 343 and Microsoft, I'll be honest, as a PlayStation fanboy, Halo is probably the biggest IP of the past 20 years. And for some reason, they don't know how to do it in a way to, why does it take this long, or why are we having so much hiccups? It is crazy, and I do feel for the studio, but also at the same time, it sounds like they don't know what they're doing nicely. Hey, you might want to get some more, pick another studio. They've kind of fucked up. They have a bunch of RPG studios, but for some reason, that 343 and Halo, they're not mixing, and I don't understand why. But yeah, and then also another quick one that I heard was Rare's game director of Everwild. He or she stepped down, because I wasn't even looking at names. I'm just saying this on the top of my head. So yeah, it's they're really selling a box with no games sooner than later. Ooh. But anyway. So this week we had a couple embargoes open up about last week with the some game influencers getting to have the PS5 and getting to say some news and what they think of the system. And not even their real true thoughts. They got to unbox it, they got to show it, and they also got to show a demo of Astro's Playground, only of Cool Springs level, which is only one of the 4 levels. They weren't even allowed to say the other 3 levels, which I think one of them was Memory Sky. And I said them here because the developer said it during an interview on a month ago, but yeah, they got to play. They got to play with the DualSense, and right now, right before the weekend, they were announced that some places are allowed to start reviewing Bugsnax, or they're playing it for review right now. So we're gonna get the news. It sounds like next Friday, this coming up Friday, will be when the embargoes lift and we can start saying, yep, I played this. This is great. Bing, bang, boom. Woohoo. But back to these embargoes that they got to discuss. They said Astro's Playroom is probably the best in our system game, the idea that it came with a system, since Wii Sports. So to hear that's very promising. And Xbox people, which he says he's not, but that's how I categorize him. But he says he's, Paris said this is the real true next gen thing he's ever touched was the DualSense with the new haptic feedback triggers, and everybody and their mama are saying very high praise to the DualSense. They say it feels great. They say if the Nintendo Joy-Cons have HD rumble, well, then the DualSense must have UHD rumble. They said that real trick of in the Astro's Playroom, there's a beach level, and he says you can feel kind of the difference between the sand into the ice of that same Cooling Springs level, which is awesome to hear. Makes me very excited. And then they also said the triggers feel really cool, and also just to more say it for people with accessibility issues or disabilities, the haptic feedback can be turned off, because there's been 2 leaked videos I've watched, and one of them was just somebody pushing down on the trigger and showing the resistance and what the controller does to you, not to you like that, but what the controller does to try to counter your push. It looks very strong and it looks really cool. I'm glad to hear 2K21 is going to use the triggers with the new abilities. All the first parties And I could have, and then even like an indie game, because this week they announced that Prey of the Gods, which is a indie game that has it's like Shadow of the Colossus, but an indie developer made it. It was like on Kickstarter and got money for it to make it, but it was announced for PS4 and PS5, and the indie developer said, yeah, we're using those triggers too. So I'm hoping, with everybody giving it praise because of the influencers saying it right now, when we get it on November 12th, that all the fan base kind of heightens and says, hey Ubisoft, will you please make sure you use the triggers to the abilities that they can be done, since they can be turned off for disability or Xbox. Even Bethesda now, they were using the triggers because they were using it just for PS5. I hope they use the tools for them. And then the idea that obviously PS5 has been with developers longer, so hopefully they have, they're like, hey, let's make it work, so it does happen more longer into the future than we know. But yeah, I'm glad to hear. And then this, like I said, Friday is going to be the real embargo day. And then some more quicker knows of the idea of, Destruction All-Stars, that video game they showed from Lucid Games. Apparently it's just going to be, not delayed it, they pushed it back to February. But the cool part is they are going to say, hey, that game is now free when it hits February through PS Plus, which is awesome. Obviously, doesn't take no real money out of PlayStation's pocket, since it was I don't think Lucid's a first party, but I think they are, maybe. I can't remember all their parties, studios' names. But the idea ain't going to cost no money for them. But it's awesome to hear, hey, this game that people everywhere was saying they were really sketchy on it for $70. They just literally moved a game like, what's another idea? Like Riggs. The VR game Riggs. They let it out there in the wild and kind of let it die before they said, we're going to put it on PS Plus off the get-go. This is like they did, this is what, like Drive Club. Like Drive Club, when it first was announced and it was delayed, and then they just sent it out there just because they let it die. Not saying the same idea, but the idea that they should have just came up right up front like they're doing now. It's like a new Sony. It's like, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm praising Sony for changing up their usual ways of business. And you know what? We're not going to let this die. We're going to let it go back into the marinade, come back to February, and then for 2 months straight, it's going to be free. And then that opens the door, just kind of like Rocket League did. This might become the next Rocket League because it was free to play, or at least free to buy. This might be the newest, It might be like Fall Guys. It might be the next big multiplayer thing for at least for the PlayStation, because they're being considerate about it. So I'm just more happy to hear Sony doing that and like switching up their usual business ways of just letting shit to go out. And then also, because this is newer news, I could say the Xbox games were gold, but the PS Plus games were announced for this week, which should be on the 2nd. We're going to start the benefits. They announced that Shadow War, the Lord of the Rings game, and Hollow Knight are free PS4 games this week. And then they also announced that on PS5 we're going to get Bug Snacks. And I'm like, what the hell? That is awesome, because I don't care what anybody says. I hope every person on my listening crew understands and they know, hey, when a game comes out, CuzNCiseal is excited. I don't think there's a version. I asked this question to PSPX this week. Is there a genre of a game that you dislike, that if there was a version of it, like let's say for the idea of, hey, CuzNCiseal, you don't like real-time strategy games. Is there a version of a real-time strategy game that you would like to play and be excited for? I'm like, okay, right. I'll say it like that with my experience. XCOM, like the Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within, they're okay games. But I like Mutant Year Zero way more because they flipped the script of how the formula of RTSs are. And Mutant Year Zero is on Game Pass, just so you guys know. And Mutant Year Zero does a more idea of, hey, we're going to give you an open world map, what you can look for, scavenge, because you're being like these people that scavenge for a city and you go back to the city with goods. Okay, but then if there's enemies afoot, the battlefield is only like a playground. Like the idea of like, all right, boom, here comes the grid. Then you can start the whole RTS style of like, send your guy over this direction for a flank. Here, bing, bang, boom. But the idea that they don't make the whole game a grid, and then there's the mission, and then you're done with the mission, boom. I like that there's a more of an exploration. You can also sneak away from the battle if you wanted to. Mutant Year Zero is a good game. So that idea. So back to what I was trying to get to, the free PS5 game, Bugsnax. Everybody around me has been going, I don't even know what this game is. Shut the fuck up. It is basically a first-person Viva Pinata. You don't have to worry about the garden. You just have to collect bugs for the town. And it looks amazing for a indie game, especially when the last game I've heard from Young Horses was Octodad, which is great, but the idea of that was more of a test of like how to do like those I Am Bread and like those controller mount your friends where you use all different buttons to start operating. Bugsnax looks great, and I think it's like 4K 60. I don't want to sound, oh, you're wrong, but like it's like a high fidelity graphical, and it's going to be like 60 frames on PS5, which is awesome. But it looks great, and the theme song's fucking stuck in my head all the time. But yeah, I'm very excited for Bugsnax, and the idea of that. I hope, like I was trying to say, my listeners, if you think it's an indie game that someone might not care about, just so you know, CuzNCiseal cares about it. Oh shit, this is way back into it. What, we're gonna be almost 23 minutes into the show. I did play another game I fucking forgot. I played Ghost Runner, and that game is a fucking amazing. Oh my god. And I'm more happy I bought it pre-ordered, so I got some change taken off of it for percentages for it. But Ghost Runner is basically a cyberpunk universe, Hotline Miami, except with not guns, you're with a sword. So it comes with, it's very fast, and then it sounds dumb if you guys go to CuzNCiseal, the show, CuzNCiseal show on YouTube. I posted up just a little 10-minute of the boss fight. There's a lot of in the 10 minutes. I die a lot, but the idea that you see how the game is, it's one of those people call it Katana Zero because of the sword, but I look at it like a Hotline Miami. It has great synthetic techno, or like that cyberpunk music, or that Tron music. You're flying through the levels sometimes. And it's just a big puzzle game with a sword and, one shot, one kill, but also you're killing with one hit. You can also block bullets sometimes. It looks great, and I love that. Good on the Ghost Runner game developers. That game is amazing because they are truly like, there's people that go like this. Oh yeah, you can approach the level any way you want, but usually there's A and B only. This version has there's at least up to like A through E of options of how to approach the fight, how to address villains, and everything. And it's very cool. There are some levels so that people go like, oh, you're a liar. There are some levels that there's a more focus at the beginning of the level than others. So like how I said, you can choose A through E options of how to approach it. Some of the other levels, there's some villains with shields. So sometimes that option might become the first priority. So then the majority of the people will be doing the same option of like route. But at the same time, there are different ways to get up to the shield ball to destroy it. So they all have no shields, blah, blah, blah. And I like it. It's very good. Oh my God. Like, I streamed a couple of it, so if you even went to twitch.tv/CuzNCiseal, and thank you for all these people on the Twitter that I don't know personally, but now I'm up to 20 followers. Hey, that's a start. I need up 35 more, and we can be into the affiliate range of talking. So I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing, keep it up, but yeah, Ghost Runner, wow. I more apologize that we had to wait so long to hear about it. You guys should all go buy it, because also Ghost Runner is getting a free next-gen upgrade on whichever console you choose. And it looks good now, but I do see my screen looks way different than some people's on, like maybe they're watching it playing on PC on YouTube. So I'm playing that, but also at the same time, I think I'm going to savor it. Just like all my games I've been doing. I'm waiting for the next gen because I'm tired of not having like certain effects or maybe some particles because I'm on a snail of a fucking system. But oh man, if I did hot picks for games, Ghost Runner is this week's hot pick for games. And don't believe me, watch. A lot of streamers are going to be playing it this week because just of more busy work. I heard Dr. Disrespect's going to play it this week. Andy Cortez has been playing it through the weekend. No one fucking was playing it on Tuesday night besides fucking me. Remember that. But yeah, back to some also more leak videos. There is a little leak video going around of a gentleman with a PS5, and he did a cold boot of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and it took maybe less than 10 seconds to get from screen to actual in-game and that's pretty cool. I'll probably, maybe you'll see it. I'll probably post it on the same day as this drops, so Monday. So hopefully you guys see it. Hopefully you guys check out at MikeFowler93 I'm going to post that little video that I saw. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you what I did or what I found. But also, real quick, I forgot, there's also been 2 more PS Plus collection, the PS5 exclusive, like, little library of PS4 games. They also add 2 more games to that list. For that list, we're going to get Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicle Edition. So, I'm assuming you might get Black Ops 3 into that, but it's going to be the zombie modes. So, that's cool. But the better one is we're going to get the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy in there for free. So, real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 22 free games for when you get on launch week. And then judging by, hopefully, it's not that hard to collect, because also I'm hoping everybody has the PlayStation Plus app for mobile has upgraded. So now that's be your first source right now if you wanted to pre-order PS5 games. So hopefully if you don't have a PS5, I would suggest downloading the PS mobile app so you can at least claim your PS Plus earnings now. I did that when the PS4 came out. The PS4 came out during this holiday weeks. I didn't buy my PS4 till around tax returns, but with the mobile app back then, I was able to claim Resogun. I was able to claim Outlast, and then all the PS Plus games until I got one. So they just did an upgrade on the app. It does look better. There are some things I do miss, but they did make the store almost instantaneous. There's no going into a web page from a button from the old app of the PS mobile game app. Ugh. But yeah, again, it's another way to look at the PS5 free games, and also you can purchase your for your library right there too. So it looks good, but the one thing I do miss having, they have a friends list, but it's like your messaging, which is, and then they took away the follows on the app. You can't look at your follows. I know it sounds dumb, but like, I followed Colin Moriarty. I followed Greg Miller and like Blessing. I used to just like to be that person to go able to take a peek and say, like, this week, Colin said he just platinumed a game. I think it's called like Inkfell or some shit. I wanted to look at the trophy list, but I can't do it off the mobile app. And you know, it's one of those things like, oh, once you're on the system, you kind of fucking forget. So I wish that they brought back follows onto the app, but that's my only real 2 cents about it. You can search people, but the idea that my follows are saved, so I don't have to type in Game Over Greg or Moriarty IGN. But yeah, that's the only real 2 cents about it. But hey, I hope everyone enjoys it. It's a little short and sweet this week. This week's hot picks is for music. Look Over Your Shoulder from Busta Rhymes. Yep, 2020 Busta Rhymes. Featuring Kendrick Lamar. I actually that's a pretty good song. I dig it. And for a TV show, buckle up. It's an anime that has no dub right now, but Jujutsu Kaisen. I recommend everybody check that out. It will be on Crunchyroll. Oh yeah, I forgot. Right now we're in the eve of possibly Sony buying Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll might be go under the Sony umbrella. So is Funimation. So hopefully they'll merge that right now, because right now there's a Funimation app and right now there's of course a Crunchyroll app. I hope Sony buys them and we'll merge them together, and that's some good money, because Crunchyroll has I think 3-4 million active users, and majority of them are paid users. I just bought it again for my stepson, which I watched too, but Funimation is more Funimation has like Dragon Ball. Funimation has My Hero Academia. And when I say like that, they have the English dub versions too. Funimation does. So hopefully they can merge and make a powerhouse, and hopefully they make it so that PlayStation people have a discount. Ooh, that'd be nice. But yeah. And for comics, issue 1 of Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood. That comes out this Wednesday, and then also just more saying, which I've said before, but issue 1 of the Image Comics crossover, which we talked about during the DC fandom and like Comic-Con stuff. It comes out, and then I'm not saying maybe it was just a fluke of during the times I was trying to search for it. I couldn't find a pre-order for it, and people around the internet that I follow, they said it's going to be very popular, that Image crossover. So yeah, just more saying it. Again, thank you all for listening. Please follow me on Twitter at MikeFowler93. Twitch.tv/CuzNCiseal, CuzNCiseal. And then, of course, Instagram, CuzNCiseal. And then, yeah, hope again, don't get too sick off Halloween candy. We have enough sicknesses in this world. And this will probably be my last time just saying, please go vote. Not telling you who. Just go do your civic duty as an American. It's your voice. Go vote. Do whatever you feel is best for you and your family. But also at the same time, remember, look into it, maybe what is you believe is best for the country too. So yeah, you guys have a good week. Next week we're gonna obviously have embargoes lifted. We can hear their 2 cents on even games next week. So yeah, you have a good one. Take care. Be good to each other. Peace.